in high definition. This is Fox 2 News.
A blast of winter and the beginning of spring. Heavy snow falling across the metro area.
The storm making driving conditions dangerous and causing major traffic jams.
This wet stuff could change your weekend plans, but it's not likely to hang around too long.
But it pays good.
Not everyone is bummed out about the wicked weather, why some are seeing dollar signs. And first on Fox, a confusing sign of spring as snow blankets the St. Louis metro area.
Let's get right to meteorologist Chris Higgins, who is in the weather center tracking this storm. Chris?
Yeah, guys, it has been going along pretty much as expected for the St. Louis area. We've been talking about this sloppy mix of heavy wet snow. We've had some reports of sleet in the last few minutes south and southwest of St. Louis, but primarily this has been a heavy wet hit of snow and some of the worst visibilities really we've seen with snow so far this snow season across the bi-state area. Really can't call it winter because we are now officially into spring. If you're wondering how much snow has fallen in your neighborhoods, we're scrolling some of our viewer reports at the bottom of your screen on the ticker, but the snow is falling at impressive rates still across the area, and we still have several more hours to go. Let's take you around with some of our web cameras. First and foremost, out to the west where the snow continues to fall heavily in Herman Hill, on the Herman Hill Casino Queen web camera. Now you can notice a little bit of improvement in the last few minutes on that loop there. The heaviest snow now just shifting east of Herman. And that means it's moving into and through the metro St. Louis area further to the east, which is where we take you there with the Casino Queen web camera from the Coffee Cartel. And you can see lots of snow on the sidewalks. And the main roads are mainly wet and sloppy with lots of slush here and there. That's the Del Mar Loop webcam, courtesy of the Casino Queen. Here's the latest look with the digital Doppler, and we're talking about an awful lot of snowfall still focused right along that I-70, I-44 corridor in the heart of the St. Louis metro area, and now spreading off to the east at this time. And that snowfall is heavy in spots. We've even had reports of lightning and thunder mixed in with some of this, although that seems to have been winding down over the last few minutes. But the heaviest snow right now is right in this I-44, I-70 corridor. It's starting to break up a little bit on the western edge, but we still have several more hours of moderate to heavy wet snow. You can see the back edge showing up on the wide view, starting to get that back edge breaking up a bit across central Missouri, but areas that have been seeing heavy snow will continue to see heavy snow for the next several hours. The worst of it, as expected, focused on the I-70 Missouri River corridor from Herman through the metro area and points east. I've edged the total numbers up just a little bit. We've already had 4 and 5 inches in many spots. I think storm totals in the highlighted area there will range from 3 to some spots as high as 7 inches. You get outside of that heavier corridor and amounts taper off quickly from Bowling Green, Hardin to Litchfield. It could be as little as just a light coating to as much as isolated 3-inch amounts. Same thing holds for the southern counties from Steelville over to Farmington and Perryville. So the breakdown with the weather highlights: periods of heavy snow with some thunder and lightning are likely to continue for another couple of hours. Poor visibility, less than a quarter of a mile, maybe as low as 100 yards at times, but I think that will be improving after 6 or 7 o'clock with snow completely tapered off by midnight tonight. This storm system will move out. There are more opportunities for snow in the long-range forecast. Hard to believe, but they're there, and I'll show it to you in a few minutes. Shirley?
All right, Chris, thanks. Well, the spring snow could be the last gasp of winter, but for many, that thought means very little comfort.
Fox News' Betsy Bruce continues our storm coverage from Maryland Heights with more on the trouble some drivers are having on the roads. Betsy.
Well, Elliot, certainly not too welcome to the drivers. The kids may be loving this. It's great snowball snow, obviously, or a snow fort or something of that sort. But out here, it has been somewhat difficult on roads and highways, particularly in areas that haven't been plowed. Now, right here, I'm along Dorset and 270, and traffic really is moving rather well along this area. But as the temperatures are hovering at 32, there are some very dangerous spots, particularly on overpasses and bridges, that can be icy. Now, one spot we know about, Interstate 55 southbound, could be closed for several more hours in the Festus area due to an accident involving a couple of jackknife tractor trailers and possibly a bus. There was also an accident in the vicinity of Interstate 270 and 70, not too far from where we are, and that's slowing traffic, as well as numerous fender benders, all road conditions that drivers must cope with, like it or not.
I'm not usually a panicky driver, but there's some really bad slick spots. Don't even see them coming.
It's awful. They haven't laid too much salt down yet. So. I don't know, slick.
Now, what we have to tell you is that this, once again, is not happening on a school day, so you know superintendents around the region are just sharing a collective sigh of relief. They certainly don't want to make up any more snow days at the end of the year. Live in Maryland Heights, Betsy Bruce, Fox 2 News.
Well, the snow caught some drivers by surprise. Several accidents are being reported on Missouri highways. MoDOT spokeswoman Becky Almoroth joins us now on the phone with more on the road conditions. Becky?
Good evening. Yeah, we've been planning for this event. We saw it coming the last day or two, so we've had crews out since early this morning waiting, and we have about 200 trucks out right now.
Can you give us a sense of what they're doing to actually treat the roads?
Yeah, absolutely. With this being a heavy, wet snow, the best thing that we can do is just drop the plows and push it off the side of the road. The thing that we are seeing, though, since this is a really, really heavy, wet snow, drivers need to be really careful around those snow plows and make sure they're not getting too close to them, because you get near that drift of snow that's being thrown from the plows and your visibility is going to be zero.
Becky, do you know whether there are some areas in the metro area that have been hit harder by the snow than others?
Yeah, there have been. Franklin County and northern Jefferson County seem to have gotten that really heavy band of snow, and they even had some thunder snow in there. So a lot of those roadways in that area are completely covered, especially those minor routes, the lettered routes. Those are really the areas where we're seeing the really thick slush and also a lot of slide off the roads.
Yeah, we actually had video of some cars that had actually run off the roads. Any idea about injuries at this point?
No, we haven't heard any of the major. Most of these slide-offs, people are going slow, kind of heeding the warning, so their minor just need to be pulled out.
And then once again, for drivers who are out in this messy condition, what's the best advice?
Best advice, the thing you're going to see a lot of the interstates look clear and look just wet. Those bridges and overpasses, those are elevated. That's really where we're seeing some of the issues and a lot of the slide-offs. And then the snow's going to stop in a couple of hours, but with the temperatures dropping overnight, we expect a lot of refreeze. So, yeah, get home if you can and make some room for those plows to get the roads clear.
All right, Becky Almoroth with MoDOT, thank you so much for joining us this evening. And here's a live look at Lambert Airport. This is a busy travel weekend as folks are returning home from spring break. Fortunately, though, there are only 3 delays to report on flights departing to Fort Leonard Wood and Milwaukee.
And not everyone is griping about the snowstorm. Some folks are making money clearing the snow. Plows out in force along with the workers shoveling snow from commercial areas. Crews all over the area swinging into action, battling Mother Nature. Matt, what do you think about all this?
I don't know. I thought spring was here.
Doesn't look anything like spring, does it?
No, it doesn't, but it pays good.
It doesn't seem like a springtime, does it?
No, I was just saying to my wife, I'm like, end of March, almost April, and it's snowing. It baffles me, but gotta do what you gotta do.
Yeah, okay.
Gotta work.
Well, the mercury started dropping earlier in the day, causing folks to bundle up, and just the anticipation of the white stuff left them concerned. Fox 2's George Sells continues our team coverage.
Like weather was giving people the blues before a flake of snow ever fell.
I'm pretty sick of it.
$1 a bag, pick them up.
At the Soulard Farmers Market, long faces over low temperatures are very real and not just due to discomfort.
What else you can help with, young lady?
This is the time of year when business here is supposed to start picking up.
Right around Easter, it starts picking up. The last couple of weekends have been halfway decent up here. It's been pretty decent been nice and warm.
But no such luck today.
Oh, ready for spring.
Tired of the snow?
Yes, Lord, but I ain't complaining.
When people are forced to bundle up, they're less likely to get out and spend money, and vendors are left keeping one eye on the customers they do have and another on the sky.
We're trying to get a few things ready just so we don't have to close up all at once.
In Forest Park, the weather played havoc on what was supposed to be a stripped-down event today. Looking around here, you saw plenty of people in their skivvies. The Undie 5000 is a run to fight colon cancer, a run in which people normally wear some sort of underwear, and some played that part. But on this day, most underwear was on top of outerwear.
Wear what you need to in order to come out and do this.
Okay. Are they cheating a little bit, though?
Not at all. Not at all.
Actually, yes, we're having a 2-dog night here.
People were going to great lengths in their efforts to stay warm, and the chill was hitting a little harder considering the weather we had earlier this week.
It was 85 the other day. I can't even believe it.
But no matter where you were today, you needed to remember we've had colder, we've had snowier, and on March days in the Midwest, these sort of shifts come with the territory. No need to complain.
I'm so old, I enjoy every morning that I can get up. So, I mean, the young kids can get sick of it, but I love it.
In Soulard, George Sells, Fox 2 News.
And for the latest on weather conditions in our area, go to fox2now.com. You can see photos viewers sent in to our snow in their areas by scrolling down to the photo gallery section. Gateway Storm Fest was a great success 2 weeks ago. Tonight you can see what it was all about. Gateway Storm Fest 2011 airs tonight at 6 right after the Jaco Report. This condensed version includes presentations on the most destructive St. Louis tornadoes and information on staying safe during a severe storm.
And right now we're going to go, hopefully, to a look outside. There it is, outside the Fox 2 studios where snow is actually still falling. Stay with us for continuing coverage of this heavy storm. A Fox 2 follow-up on a woman shot and killed after being caught in the crossfire between two rival gangs. A funeral service for Patrice Times took place at a packed North St. Louis church this morning. She's the sister of local jazz singer Denise Times. Patrice Times was driving through North St. Louis and was talking on the phone the night of March 17th. Two rival gangs opened fire on each other and a bullet hit Times. 3 teens are charged in connection with her death.
Political icon Geraldine Ferraro is dead. Ferraro was the first woman nominated to run for vice president on a major ticket when she ran with Democrat Walter Mondale in 1984. President Obama calls the former New York Congresswoman a political trailblazer who broke down barriers for women and Americans of all backgrounds. Ferraro died today in Boston, where she was being treated for blood cancer. Geraldine Ferraro was 75.
Turning to the crisis in Japan, levels of radioactive iodine in the country's seawater is now soaring over 1,200 times the national safety limit. Engineers are struggling to stabilize a nuclear power plant affected by the earthquake and tsunami. Officials are downplaying the severity, saying it's not a threat to marine life or food safety because when it enters the food chain, it will have diluted. The death toll in Japan has risen to more than 10,000 people. Another 17,000 are still missing.
And here's a live look outside our Fox 2 studios. You can see the snow is still slamming the St. Louis area. Of course, we'll continue to follow this and bring you the latest when we come back.
Yeah, that heavy snow will continue for several more hours, shifting more to the east and southeast of downtown. And it's not the only snowstorm in the forecast. Watching 2 more opportunities between now and opening day. I'll have the forecast for you coming up next. All right, snow still falling across the entire area, or most of the area, and it has been a heavy, wet, sloppy snow as expected. Kind of a wide variety of snow totals. We're scrolling some of the heavier amounts on the bottom of your screen there from some of our weather watchers and observers across the region. Anything from as little as barely anything well north and well south of town to an isolated or heavy corridor right along I-70 in Missouri and Illinois of as much as 5, 6, 7 inches of snow so far. Let's take a look at what's going on out there. We'll take a look starting with the digital Doppler, and the pattern is shifting a little bit, showing that the things are starting to move. The heaviest band of snow, which was in this area here along the Missouri River and I-70 in Missouri, is now starting to shift a little bit more to the east and southeast. And let's draw that in for you. So it's more in this area here. That's where the heaviest snow is falling over Metro St. Louis and points to the south and to the southeast. So talking about along and south of Interstate 70 in Illinois towards the Carlisle Lake area, back towards Scott Air Force Base, O'Fallon, Illinois, and Cahokia and Collinsville and Granite City, all seeing some locally heavy snow. And we've had frequent reports of lightning and thunder embedded in some of this snowfall as well. But as you look out here to the west, yes, there's still a fair amount of snow between Columbia, Jeff City, and the I-44 corridor, but there are some more breaks developing in that. And I think that's a good sign in that things will start to slowly taper off over the next several hours, and certainly by midnight tonight the snow will be over, but still looking at pockets of moderate to occasionally heavy snow at times on and off for the next several hours in and around the metro St. Louis area. So the highlights: periods of heavy snow, some thunder and lightning continues to be likely at times, although I think that'll be mainly south and southeast of downtown. Very poor visibility, a key characteristic from the storm. We've had reports of only 100 or 200 yard visibility in the heaviest snow. And again, it will be tapering off by midnight with total accumulations in the metro ranging from 3 to 7 inches. And there is some buildup, especially on those side streets and parking lots and such, because temperatures have in areas dropped to or below freezing. Chesterfield's now 30, 33 at Baldwin, 33 at Sappington at Fox 2 Transmitter, 30 at Cahokia, and 31 this hour in Maryville. On the Elko Chevy Cadillac rooftop camera here at Fox 2, visibility still about a quarter of a mile with heavy snow. We've got about 4.5 inches on the ground out the back door. We're at 32 officially at Lambert. Northeast winds at 12, gusting to 18. Our high today, 39. The low was 32. As of an hour and 20 minutes ago, Lambert had 2.3 inches on the ground. That's probably up to at least 3, maybe 4 inches total. They're not that far up to the north from us, so chances are they're going to come in between 4 and 5 inches at the airport. You can see how the tail of the snow lining right up along the Missouri River and the I-70 corridor spreading onto the east should come to an end later this evening, but the active winter flow still taking shape out to the west. 1-2 storm systems out in that flow that we have to watch for the upcoming work week. But for today and tonight, watching the snow come to an end as the storm pushes away to the east. Next storm system rolling out of the Rockies. This one will provide at least a chance for some light snow from St. Louis to the south and southeast as early as tomorrow night and into early on Monday. So yeah, strange weather pattern for sure. Snow will gradually come to an end this evening, 3 to 7 inches locally, less to the north and south, 31 degrees by 9 o'clock. Low tonight, 28 degrees under a mostly cloudy sky. Tomorrow, more clouds than sun, high temperature in the upper 30s to near 40 degrees. 5-day forecast, a little light snow Sunday night into Monday. Not much accumulation with that, maybe just a sloppy dusting or so. Then on Tuesday, that's our next big chance for rain and snow. Could be several inches of accumulation with that, high of 38, and opening day, partly cloudy, with a high near 50.
Okay, this got our attention.
Yes, sir.
All right, thank you, sir. It may not feel like it outside, but Cardinals opening day is next Thursday, and you're invited to help us celebrate at our pep rally downtown in Keener Plaza from 10 o'clock to 2 o'clock. Enjoy live music, good food, games, lots of giveaways. There's more information under the May We Suggest box on the homepage of fox2now.com.
And here's another live look at the snow falling across the St. Louis area. If you have to go out, be careful. Stay with us. Sports is up next.
Woo Pig Suey. Missouri fans can't be happy watching that. This morning, Mike Anderson was formally introduced as the new head basketball coach at Arkansas. About 5,000 fans packed Bud Walton Arena, some wearing t-shirts that read, "Welcome home, Mike." After 5 seasons at Mizzou, Anderson returning to Fayetteville, where he was a Razorback assistant from 1985 to 2002. Today, Anderson declined to say whether any of his former Missouri players could follow him to Arkansas. The 51-year-old coach signs a 7-year deal worth $2.2 million per season. But for Anderson, this move seemed to be about more than just the money.
I'm happy to be back home. This is home. This is home to Mike Anderson. You know that they always say, sometimes dreams do come true. And as I sit here with the Razorback faithful, I'm certainly excited. I'm overwhelmed, and I'm looking forward to leading the Razorback back to the top,
All right, NCAA hoops going on right now. Butler and Florida for a trip to the Final Four. It's in the second half, about 4 minutes to play. 57-53, Florida on top. Alex Tyus of Florida and Hazelwood Central, 14 points and 8 rebounds last time we checked. Butler trying to get back to the Final Four in back-to-back years. Maybe the game of the tournament last night, Kentucky and Ohio State tie game. Wildcat freshman Brandon Knight pulls up and hits with 5 seconds to play. The Buckeyes' William Buford from Toledo, Ohio, with the 3 for the win, but it's no good. Kentucky knocks off the #1 overall seed, Ohio State. The Cats' Josh Harrelson of St. Charles, 17 points and 10 rebounds. He's having one heck of a tournament. After taking on the Marlins this afternoon, the Cardinals have 2 more Grapefruit League games Sunday and Monday before most of the team plays an exhibition contest in Springfield on Tuesday. Then it's a day off Wednesday and opening day Thursday, March 31st against the Padres. Hopefully you got all of that. Albert Pujols is getting into regular season form at just the right time in this one. 4th inning, Pujols solo home run to left center, 1-0 Cards. Albert's second of the spring. Then in the 5th, Pujols hits his second homer of the day, also to left center. This one a 2-run shot, so it's 5-0 Redbirds. But in the 9th, Ryan Franklin, the closer, comes on and relinquishes a 5-3 Cards lead. Wes Helms single to left, scores Jorge Padilla with the game-winning run. Marlins come back to win 6-5. Franklin allows 4 hits and 3 runs in just 2/3 of an inning. Chris Carpenter got the start, went 6 innings, giving up 3 runs on 9 hits. Brian Augustine, 2 innings of scoreless relief. He's had a strong spring and may have earned himself a spot in the bullpen. Blues 2010 first-round pick Jaden Schwartz put on a display at Scottrade Center last night. The Colorado College left winger scored 2 goals and added 2 assists as the Tigers rolled defending national champion Boston College 8-4. The 18-year-old freshman Schwartz and Colorado College will take on Michigan tonight at 8 p.m. at Scottrade in the NCAA West Region Final. The winner advances to the Frozen Four. He'll play Michigan, coached by former Blue player and coach Red Berenson. The Blues, of course, out of town because the college kids are playing. Blues at the Minnesota Wild tonight.
Cardinals opening Thursday. Woo!
Thursday against the Padres. You look outside, the weather doesn't look like baseball weather. Hopefully, Chris will let it all go by then.
Chris will work on that.
Yes, he'll be working on it.
Bring us some sunshine, get rid of the snow.
Absolutely.
All right, thanks, Charlie.
All right, and why don't we take another look outside our studios as our beautiful sight. You can see the snow still falling. Drivers are coping with some very slick roads. We'll be back in a moment.
Spooky rumors are floating around Tinseltown. Reports claim the American Idol house is haunted. Ghosts are rumored to be roaming the halls of the Beverly Hills mansion, which is shared by Idol contestants. The executive producer of the show joked the ghosts or idols past are haunting the house.
I guess. That's going to do it for Fox News at 5 on this snowy spring day.
Stay tuned next for the JCO report, followed by Gateway Storm Fest 2011. And Kurt Higgins will continue to track the storm.
In high definition, this is Fox 2 News.
A blast of winter and the beginning of spring. Heavy snow falling across the metro area.
Fox News' Betsy Bruce continues our storm coverage from Maryland Heights with more on the trouble some drivers are having on the roads. Betsy.
The snow is falling at impressive rates still across the area, and we still have several more hours to go. Let's take you around with some of our web cameras. First and foremost, out to the west where the snow continues to fall heavily in Herman.
Into March, almost April.